Next we are going to study about what is meant by a functional group, what is meant by homologous series, and a new term for you, that is what are alkyl groups. Functional groups and homologous series already you have studied in 10th standard. So among these three, the only new concept for you, that is only alkyl groups. So first, what is meant by a functional group? How we can define a functional group? Yes, they are atoms or group of atoms present in a molecule, and they will be responsible for the entire characteristic chemical properties of that organic compound. So functional groups can be either atoms or group of atoms, and they will be responsible for the entire characteristic properties of that organic compound, isn't it? For example, in 10th standard you have already studied about alkanes, different functional groups, isn't it? Alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, alcohols, halogen compounds, aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids, etc., isn't it? The same compound we will be studying this year also. So see the first example given, it is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, that means it is butane, isn't it? Butane means, how we can generally call this functional group as, there is no other functional group present, so we can call it as alkenes, isn't it? So it is an alkane containing only carbon and hydrogen with all carbon-carbon single bonds. And now in the second compound, here from butane, if we are replacing, from butane we are replacing one hydrogen by one chlorine. Butane means 4 carbon atoms with hydrogen atoms only. From butane, if we are replacing one hydrogen by one chlorine, what will happen here? The entire property will change, isn't it? This compound and this compound, halogen compound, will be having entirely different properties, isn't it? So here we can call them as halogen compounds. Another functional group is halogen compounds or chlorine compounds. Now in the third case, if we are replacing this hydrogen by one OH group, then they will be showing some other properties which are entirely different from alkanes and halogen compounds, isn't it? Alcohols are having entirely different properties from other functional group. So such compounds will be known as alcohols. If we are replacing by OH group, they will be called as alcohols. Now there is other functional groups like carboxylic acids, isn't it? So in the case of halogen, there is only an atom, if either fluorine or chlorine or bromine or iodine present, and only that atom will be responsible for the entire property of the compound. But in the case of alcohol, OH is alcohol functional group. So it is not a single atom, isn't it? It is a group of atoms. Oxygen and hydrogen. Carboxylic acid, COOH is carboxylic acid functional group, isn't it? So one carbon, two hydrogen, one carbon, two oxygen and one hydrogen, that is actually forming one carboxylic acid group. So functional groups can be group of atoms like alcohol, aldehyde, acid, or it can be an atom also like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, etc. So they are atoms or group of atoms which are responsible for the entire characteristic properties of that organic compound. Okay, then we will study functional groups, all the functional groups in detail before the nomenclature. Okay. The next term is homologous series. What is meant by homologous series? Yes. The first condition to form a homologous series is, when we write a homologous series, we have to write adjacent members only, isn't it? And another condition required is a homologous series, all the members we have to represent by using general formula. and adjacent members will be differing by a CH2 group. So homologous series are defined as a group of structurally similar organic compounds in which all the members containing same functional group. The main one condition is if they are containing OH group, all the members in the homologous series must contain OH group only. If it is a chlorine containing homologous series, all the homologous members must contain only chlorine only. Then adjacent members are differing by a CH2 group. CH2 group is known as methylene group, not methyl group. CH2 group is known as methylene group, and see how many free valencies are there in CH2 group. 2 free valencies are there, but if it is a methyl group, it will be CH3. Instead of CH2, it will be CH3 with 1 free valency only. So remember, CH2 group is known as what? It is methylene group. Methylene group means CH2 with 2 free valencies. So adjacent members will be differing by CH2 group, their formulas, okay, and they can be represented by a general formula. Okay, we will see one example. If we take alkane homologous series, from any member we can start writing homologous series, but the only thing is only adjacent members we can write. If I am starting from propane, what is the formula? CH3, CH2, CH3. Okay, propane. Then the next member of homologous series should be, it's a 3 carbon containing alkane, so next should be 4 carbons, it should be butane. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, that is butane. Then pentane, that is CH3, CH2, 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 CH3, that is pentane. All these you have already learned in 10th standard, isn't it? So this is about, now here I have written only 3 members of alkane homologous series, starting from 3 carbon containing propane, then 4 carbon and 5 carbon. Okay, and what is the difference between the adjacent members? They all differ by these 2 members, they differ by a CH2 group, isn't it? And these 2 members also differ by a CH2 group. Okay, so adjacent members always differ by a CH2 group. Another example for any functional group, any compound containing any functional group we can select as homologous series. If I am writing alcohol, OH based homologous series, okay, alcohol. And the first member I am going to start with 1 carbon containing alcohol. Which is the 1 carbon containing alcohol? Yes, it is methanol. Methanol formula CH3OH. Okay, it is methanol. Then the second member should be after meth 2 carbon containing ethanol. Ethanol, what is the formula? We have to increase one more CH2 group, isn't it? CH3, CH2OH. Then third member will be propanol. Again add one more CH2 group, isn't it? CH3, CH2, CH2OH. So here also if you analyze, we can see that adjacent members are actually differing by CH2 group, isn't it? So any functional group we can any class of compounds containing any functional group we can take it as homologous series. The only thing is we must be able to represent them by using a general formula, and the adjacent members should differ by a CH2 group. Now here alkane, how we can call them as a homologous series, because the general representation is CnH2n plus 2, isn't it? Now the last term is alkyl group. This is a new term for you. What is meant by an alkyl group, or how we can get an alkyl group? Alkyl groups are generally represented as R group. How is the general representation? R group. capital R group, and see the way of writing R, we have to write with a free valency. What this dash called as free valency R. So R group, how to write it as free valency R. Okay, so all the groups we have to write with a free valency. What does it mean? Because that will be attached to some other carbon and they will be coming as branch or substituent. Okay, now how we are getting an alkyl group? Yes, we are getting an alkyl group by removing hydrogen from an alkane. Okay, how we are getting an alkyl group? By removing hydrogen from an alkane. Okay, now how we are writing the name of an alkyl group? Look at here. From alkane, remove Ane and add YL. Okay, from alkane, remove Ane and add YL or IL, we will be getting alkyl group. So, for a few examples we can see, study the name of each alkyl group and their formulas. Okay. First example is, take the example of methane. Methane is an alkane. Methane formula is CH4. It is an alkane, isn't it? Methane. Now, how should we get the alkyl group? Remove one hydrogen from an alkane. So from this I am removing one hydrogen. Okay, and what we will get if we remove one hydrogen from CH4, it will become CH3. Then it will become what? An alkyl group. But we have to, when we remove one hydrogen, we have to draw one free valency or one dash. Don't call it as dash, it will be called as free valency. Now, what is the name of this alkyl group? It is methane. Remove Ane and add YL. So, this group name is methyl group. Okay, so what is the formula of methyl? First, study the formula of methyl group. It is CH3 group. Similarly, the second one from ethane. Ethane, what is the molecular forward structure? CH3, CH3. From this, I am removing one hydrogen. So, from any side we can remove one hydrogen. From whichever carbon we are removing hydrogen, there itself we have to draw the free valency. So, if I am removing hydrogen from the right side, so formula will be CH3, CH2 with a free valency. Okay, and what will be the name of that group? How we can write? From ethane, remove Ane, add one YL. So the name will be ethyl group. So what is the formula of ethyl group? Either we can write it as CH3, CH2 group. This can also be written as CH2, CH3 group, both are correct. Free valency we can draw either on the right side or on left side. Can also be written as, if we are writing all the number of carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms together, total number of carbon 2, total number of hydrogen 5. So it is representing what? So study the second alkyl group. What is the second alkyl group? Ethyl group. Study the formula also, CH3, CH2 group, or we can write it as CH2, CH3 group, both are correct. The only thing is free valency should be on CH2 carbon. Or if we are writing as molecular formula, writing all the carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms together, abbreviation will be C2H5, and remember the free valency should be on carbon itself. Okay, so this is about, now we have studied two alkyl groups, that is methyl group and ethyl group. Study the formulas. Now we will study few more examples of alkyl groups. Different propyl groups. Okay, first one is N-propyl group. What is N-propyl group? N-propyl means normal propyl group. What do you mean by normal? if all the carbon atoms are arranged in a straight chain, isn't it? So normal propyl group is, prop means 3 carbon atoms, so the structure will be CH3, CH2, CH2 free valency. Because we know that propane formula is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. This is normal propane. So from this normal propane, remove one hydrogen. So it will become CH2 with a free valency. Okay. Can also be written as CH2, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3 free valency on left side. Or we can also be written as, this can also be written as total number of carbon 3, total number of hydrogen 3 plus 2 plus 2, 7. So what is N-propyl or normal propyl group? It is CH3, CH2, CH2 group or C3H7 group. Okay. Now another propyl group is, that is number 2. It is isopropyl group. How we can draw isopropyl group? A group means definitely one free valency should be there on one carbon, isn't it? Isoprop means, iso means what? 2 methyl groups should be attached to one carbon, isn't it? So this is one carbon. So 2 methyl groups should be attached to one carbon. Isn't it? This is the condition required for an iso compound. 2 methyl groups should be attached to one carbon. So see the total number of carbon atoms present here. It has already 3 carbon atoms and we have isoprop. So total number of carbons should be only 3, isn't it? Now it is a group. It is an alkyl group. So here we have to draw one free valency also. Here and here all the 4 valencies are already satisfied, so we cannot draw the free valency. Only where we can draw the free valency on the middle carbon. Now count the remaining valencies. 1, 2, 3. So here we have to draw one more hydrogen. So it is isopropyl group CH3, CH, CH3 and the free valency is on CH carbon. This can also be written as, or we can write it as CH3, 2 CH3 groups are attached to same carbon, isn't it? So we can write as CH3 twice. So CH3 twice CH group. Remember the free valency should be on CH carbon only. So this is our second propyl group, that is isopropyl group. So remember for propane, how many alkyl groups are there? Normal propyl group and isopropyl group. Now we have studied 4 alkyl groups. Once again, methyl group, ethyl group, normal propyl group, isopropyl group. Now we are going to study about the next alkyl group based on butane. First one is N-butyl group, normal butyl group. How the structure of normal butane? CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. So from this we have to remove one hydrogen, so it will be CH2. So what is normal butyl group? CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2 group, or we can write it as C4H, 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, C4H9 group. All these groups, when you write in the notebook, keep it inside a box. So the first group is normal butyl group. Now the second one is isobutyl group. So here also it is a group. So in one carbon there should be a free valency. Then it is a butyl group. So total number of carbons should be 4. It is an iso group, so iso means two methyl groups should be attached to one carbon. So we can start from the first condition, that is iso means to the same carbon two methyl groups should be attached. That is the first condition required. Now after attaching two methyl groups to one carbon, so the total number of carbon atoms we have 3. But it is butyl group, that means one more carbon is required. Isn't it? So free valency on this carbon, last carbon. So here 1, 2, 3 remaining 1 valency, here 1, 2 remaining 2. So it is isobutyl group CH3, CH, CH3, CH2. So remember free valency on CH2 carbon. This can also be written as CH3 group attached to same carbon, we can write as CH3 twice. CH, CH2 group. Remember, don't change the position of free valency. Free valency is on CH2 carbon. Now, the third type of butyl group is tertiary butyl group. Tertiary butyl means, see the way of writing tertiary, we never write it as tertiary in full. The short form that we are using is TERT. How to read it as tertiary butyl group. Tertiary butyl group means what? It is a group, so free valency should be there in one carbon. Total number of carbons should be 4, and tertiary butyl means the free valency should be on tertiary carbon. Tertiary carbon free valency should, this is our free valency. This free valency should be on tertiary carbon, that is tertiary butyl. Tertiary butyl means, so the tertiary carbon means what? If a carbon is attached to 3 other carbon atoms. See the total number of carbon atoms now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Add hydrogen, H3. All the 4 valencies are satisfied, so no more hydrogen on the middle carbon. So what is tertiary butyl group? CH3, 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 C group. C free valency on carbon without hydrogen. This can also be written as 3 methyl group is attached to same carbon, isn't it? So we can write as CH3 thrice. So CH3 thrice C, and free valency on what? The middle carbon atom only, which does not have any hydrogen. And the last type of butyl group is secondary butyl group. See how to write secondary butyl, SCC. SCC will be written as secondary butyl group. Secondary butyl group means here free valency is on a secondary carbon. Secondary carbon means what? Free valency is on what type of carbon? Secondary carbon. Secondary carbon means the carbon which is attached to 2 other carbon atoms. But see the number of carbon atoms here. Now it has only total number of 3 carbon atoms only, but it is a secondary butyl group, isn't it? So remember, this is our free valency carbon. This carbon should be attached to 2 other carbon, but we need 1 more carbon. That carbon either we can draw here or on left side. Add remaining hydrogen, CH3, CH, CH2, CH3. So this is our secondary butyl group. This can also be written as, we can write the CH3, CH2 on left side also. So CH3, CH2, CH, free valency, CH3. Or we can write it as the CH3, CH2, we can write it as C2H5, CH, CH3, free valency. Or we can write it as CH3 in one side and C2H5 on right side. So keep all these structures inside a box. So these are the different alkyl groups that we have to study. Okay, so study all the names and structures of all these alkyl groups: methyl, ethyl, then normal propyl, isopropyl, then normal butyl, isobutyl, secondary butyl and tertiary butyl groups. So all these structures, keep it inside a box and study. Okay.